Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're reacting to Awaken Realms next 2024, which is a video that they did talking about what their plans were for 2024, kind of some of their campaigns they were planning on doing. I think they've done this. I think if I remember right, they did it last year as well. I don't know if they've done it before then, but I think it's just something they do kind of at the beginning of each year, just to kind of give a little bit of a recap of what they'd previously done and kind of what the projects are that they're planning on doing. Um, and yeah, we're just kind of reacting to it, giving our thoughts on these. We've got, I think, two Awaken Realms games. We've got the Castles of Burgundy Deluxe Edition and the Great Wall. I think those are the only two that we have. Um, so, but otherwise, I know I think they're either owners or part owners of GameFound anyway. So all their campaigns and stuff are going to be on GameFound. We'll link below kind of where you can find that if you don't know. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I think we'll just kind of talk about, well, talk about what they talked about in the video and kind of I think the first thing they had mentioned was that it's their 10th anniversary of Awaken Realms,
Yeah.
which was a little surprising to me, but at the same time not really, because it does seem like they have a lot of games out there, so it doesn't really take long to get to 10 years. And I think they're also like a game company as well, like a video game company or something,
Yeah.
computer game. Which I don't know much about that. They talk a little bit about that in the video. We're not going to cover that. But yeah, they talked about, then they went on to what they'd done in 2023, which was they started this Awaken Realms Vault, which
Yeah.
I think is going to be really heavily towards role playing games, kind of things you'd use in those. And this one specifically was dice, which I think looked pretty interesting. They were definitely detailed.
Yeah, I think I have a page here of those dice. They are very, very detailed. Probably would be the fanciest dice we ever owned if we did buy some of these. I think some of them even go towards like just more role-playing game type of things, like outcomes of weather or emotions, while also having the numbers on there if you just want to use them for their uh, basic numbers. But yeah, they are. I remember seeing these when they originally came out. I don't know if we covered them
Oh
or
yeah, I feel like we might have. I think that we might have done a take my money on these.
yes.
Um, we might have
Yes.
mentioned them with that. Um, but yeah, so they talked about they'd done this campaign. They did a Stalker, the board game, which I think is based off of some video game. They did Dragon Eclipse, which was the card game. Is it a living? I'm confused between what is the trading card game versus living card game. I
Yeah.
don't really know either of those things, but so they had that's a kind of a one of those types of games, and then they had Nemesis Retaliation. So those were kind of the four projects that they had last year. And actually, they mentioned towards the end of the video that you can still late pledge on all of them outside of the dice. So that to me says none of them have delivered yet. Um, and I think from when I got the Castles of Burgundy Deluxe Edition. I know I like really, really late backed, like
Yeah.
probably over a year after the campaign, and I think it still took quite a while after that for it to come. So I think some of their projects do take a while, but it is something to keep in mind that some of these bigger companies that have these pretty massive campaigns hanging out there never know exactly what could happen financially. It
Yeah.
just takes a couple mistakes or mishaps and unfortunately, it happens in the board game space. Things
Yeah.
can happen, so something to note.
Yeah.
But then they got into the 2024, which is probably more of
Yes.
what we're um, a little bit more going to talk about, at least. We'll see if we're excited about it or not.
Yes.
They
And
tend to have deluxeified games. I'd say they're
yeah,
more.
very much. And I think that is one of the reasons why they do usually take a while to deliver. There is a lot in these games. Uh,
Mhm.
and you mentioned the Castles of Burgundy that you were waiting and anticipating. It is going to be back with its special edition again for a reprint. And I'm asking you, so you did not go all in on Castle of Burgundy. There was a lot that you actually held back from, and I'm very proud of you for that. Are you tempted to go and possibly get a few upgrades for
I
this?
Yeah, I don't know. That was one of the things I was thinking when I saw this. Because yeah, there's definitely multi levels of things you could get for this game, at least in the first one. And I don't know if they're going to be adding additional um, items to this at all. They already, I think, had added Vineyard expansion, which I don't think was originally in there. I don't remember 100%, but um, they might add some additional content. But yeah, there's uh, what is it, acrylic discs, like the ones right below there,
Oh,
that you could upgrade to.
yeah, I
I did
didn't even
not
know
get
those were
those.
possible. I'm like, wait a minute, he really held back.
I
I
did
didn't
because
even
you
know
could have
those
got that,
existed.
and then you could have went to the next level of like everything being miniatures, not
Oh,
just
yep,
the kind of the base came. Well, I don't
yeah,
know if it
with
was
the
base or whatever it was, but came with the castle ones at least.
yeah.
So you got that, and those are definitely nice. I don't know that I would want all of them to be. It would definitely have a lot of presence then, but I
Yeah.
think it already has a lot of presence
Yeah,
as
I
is.
think
So
so. I think so. And it starts to, I think the acrylic tiles would be still equally usable.
yeah,
But once you do have to start kind of interchanging things with tiles, because you
right,
can't draw the miniature tiles from the bay. I mean, you could, but
right.
that seems like a hassle. So then you're going to
Yeah,
have
I
to be
don't think you'd
switching
want to put
things
them in
in and
there.
out.
Yeah.
Probably better just to keep it a
And it's
symmetrical
already a
team.
long. It's already a game that's long.
Yeah.
So if you had to switch out things, I don't know if that would even add more length to the game. But I believe this one they're coming out in quarter 2.
Yeah.
Hopefully, since it's a reprint, it'll be a little quicker turnaround.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this actually inspired an idea for, well, this and then the next thing we're going to be talking about. I think uh, kind of inspired an idea for a video. So you can subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so we'd love if you subscribe. But we're going to put out a video on 10 games that we think could use a glow up, whether it be kind of an Awaken Realms style glow up, because I think they did a fantastic job on this.
Yeah,
There have
for
been
sure.
a couple attempts to upgrade Castle of
Yeah.
Burgundy, but I feel like no one really loved any of them. But then I think this one has definitely stood out as being, wow, this is really
As,
something. And it must have had pretty good success because they are kind of doing another one here that we'll be talking about, which is Puerto Rico Special Edition, which I believe is also a game that has had multiple editions
I think
of
so.
trying to, yeah,
I
make
know
it
there's
better.
one that they make fun of for having so many editions. It might be this one or possibly another one from that kind of line of games. I forget, uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, this one definitely does have a lot of editions. So I'm like, so these are both. Are they both from Ravensburger originally?
I think that's what they had mentioned.
Okay.
So yeah, and
I,
they're both kind of Euro style games, that type of game, and they're both, I think, in the top 100 of Board Game Geek.
yeah.
So there is that kind of connection, several connections between those, so that it's not like they're taking some random game and giving it the deluxified edition.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think they also said, like for this one, and I think for all of them, to kind of join in early, they've got all the links available, kind of open to preview and
Oh,
stuff to leave comments on,
yeah.
maybe if you have ideas of, oh, it'd be better if it was like this or whatever. I've never played Puerto Rico, so I don't know what you could improve or what could
Yeah.
be better. But
Yeah. I have been I have been very interested in Puerto Rico. It's a classic. It's probably one of the last kind of most popular games that we still haven't played. And I think it's on Board Game Arena.
and probably La Havre.
Le Havre, yeah, that one as well.
Well, for kind of the Euro style anyway.
Euro style. Yeah, we not gonna touch Kingdom Death Monster, but
Right.
of our
Yeah.
style of games, this is one of the few remaining
Yeah.
classics. Just objectively a classic. Uh,
Right.
and
And yeah,
if
I
we
think
do
like you
try
said,
it,
I think it's on Board Game Arena.
yeah, yeah. Once we try it, and if we like it, I with what they did with Castles of Burgundy, and what I'm seeing here already with this little miniature ship that you're going to be putting things on, I'd be pretty excited. I hope I like this one, and I hope we get this because I just
Yeah,
I just think they
it already.
did a
I think they'll do a
fantastic
good
job.
job.
They
Yeah,
do a fantastic job.
yeah, I would agree. So yeah, I don't know if I've fully said, but we're planning on doing a video of our top 10 games that we think could use a glow up. At least, probably it's most likely gonna be games we have, so it's not
Yeah.
gonna be out of all games. But yeah, check that out if you. That sounds interesting. Well, it'll come out after this, but
Yes.
hopefully shortly.
Oh, there's bananas on it. Bananas for these bananas. Oh
Ooh.
goodness. New art style looks very nice, very awesome art style, and
Hmm.
I think we probably all of the Ravensburger games really could just get a glow up. Honestly,
On the art
that's kind of the
style.
ones I think of now, since it has been two of them.
Yeah, that's
They
fair.
kind of show what they've done with Castle of Burgundy. So I
Which I
think
think
this one,
Ravensburger didn't they have like a I feel like in the last year they made like a deal with Awaken Realms slash GameFound or bought partial ownership or it's not something. I don't know exactly what the deal. I don't remember, but so maybe that's why it's happening.
oh,
But
yeah, yeah, that could
yeah,
be.
I like this idea. I think yeah, this really kind of breathes new life into some of these older Euro style games, and
Yeah,
um, I think
really.
one of the things Awaken Realms kind of gets slapped on the wrist for a little bit sometimes is when they do come out with their new games and their rule books aren't always the clearest or it's a little more complicated than it has to be. But when they're taking a classic game and it's already got the rule set, assuming they're not messing with that, which I don't think they did with Castle of Burgundy, um, then I mean all they're gonna do is make it look great. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, let us know in the comments below if you're interested in this or interested in any of these. But maybe you've been waiting for the Puerto Rico special edition.
yeah. Oh, and then on to say Puerto Rico, that was quarter three. Gonna
Quarter
be,
three. Yep.
and then this one is back earlier, quarter two. Grimcoven. So
Yep.
this is a brand new game. It's not a reprint or special edition. Though that is not saying it is not going to be deluxeified with a bunch of miniatures already.
Right. That is kind of their go-to thing. But yeah, I think they said how this one was a kind of boss battler game. I was worried at first. Well, we'll maybe get on to one that maybe I'm a little bit more concerned about. But at first, when I saw this, I assumed it was kind of one of the story-driven games and just one of those long campaign style games. Just from the look of it and from the video, that's kind of what I was thinking. But no, it's just a boss battler, and it
Yeah,
sounds like it gets rid of like all that kind of you got to read the story part of it and you got to do
yeah,
this and whatever. And then it's kind of like a modular system where you can fight. It sounds like you can fight like different monsters with um, different heroes or whatever you'd want to call
different
them in
areas.
different areas and stuff.
Yeah,
Yep. So that actually, I ended up being more interested in this one than I had originally thought when I saw it. And then there was something about management of, I don't remember what the name of it was, but something where you could become the monster you're trying to hunt or something.
yeah.
I didn't fully understand that part, but
The idea
sure
is,
it could be interesting.
yeah, yeah. It. I mean, all these games they look so nice, and I
Mhm.
do. I mean, that just sounds like boss battling. It's just fun. I don't know.
Mhm.
There's no way around it. It is just fun. If it's just, I don't know if we have really that many just pure boss battler type games. Um,
Not really.
so I mean, yeah, I'm interested in this one as well. But at the same time, I there's a lot of games out there that kind of fill this what
That's fair.
I perceive this to be, that do fill that we even have in our collection. A lot of them. So. Uh, But and being a new game, I'm not sure if
Right.
it's going to be great, but I could see this one being one to possibly get down the line. Looks really nice. I like the artwork. I really like the kind of cover that we saw with this area. I think that looks really cool, really
Mhm.
badass characters there.
Yeah, what did I have here? Victorian Gothic vibes is how they talked about it. Like, yeah, I suppose that's kind of the style that the artwork's kind of portraying there.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of developing your character. Character each has a distinct development tree. So advance those and build different combos and things like that. Sounded pretty cool. Just customization, I think, is so cool in games. So hopefully it
Mhm.
delivers. And they should know
Yeah,
what they're
I
doing
hope so
by
too.
now. So I think it will.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then back to the vault. They're going back to the vault with heroes and companions. So
Yes.
if the dice weren't enough, they are bringing in miniatures for all the famous races and classes in these role-playing games, as well as bringing back those dice that we showed earlier. I don't know if they're the same exact dice. They're going to be new ones. I assume they'll probably offer
Maybe
those
both.
ones as well as some new ones as well. But yeah, and characters as well to be able to use in your role-playing games. Not for us, but it looks really cool
Right.
as
Yeah.
always.
I'd wonder what maybe Zach or Eli or whatever would think of these miniatures. I know there's already probably a ton of options out there for miniatures, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what made
I
me
guess I don't know.
question because I'm like, so does this do anything special, or is this just supposed to be your character? Because I mean, you can already get like really custom miniatures for your characters, paint them
Mhm.
up yourself. So I don't know if there's really a need for that. Maybe this does more than I'm
Yeah, I don't know.
imagining, but
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
guessing
know.
it's just a character miniature. But
Yeah. I know they have really good miniatures, so I
yeah,
guess I don't know like how, people that really like the role-playing games or any of those where you'd use miniatures. Uh, I don't know if maybe they kind of have their own ratings of, oh, these miniatures are better than these are better than these, and kind of what price you could think for different miniatures. Maybe these are really top of the line where some people get them. I have no idea.
yeah,
I don't know too much about miniatures in general, but yeah, it does seem like something that is already kind of out there. So it'll be
yeah.
interesting to see how this one does.
Yeah, I guess if we like just got into it or you're new to it, this could be a good kind of official set to use instead of having to search and try to find something on your own. I guess this could be just the default go-to
Mm-hmm.
set, possibly. Although I don't know how expensive it would be.
Right,
That's going to be quarter 1, so pretty soon,
pretty soon.
2024. So yeah, dice. And then finally, another new game, Lands of Evershade. Sounds kind of like just a very like it's like filling. It's like coming up with your pirate name or something. You roll a d20 here, a d20 here, find this first and the second word. You got
Mad Lib.
Lands and Evershade. And I think
That
that's
is
when we come up
about
with
it.
this.
That does kind of that's kind of how I think they came up with the name because it's a fine name, but at the same time, it does kind of seem a little generic. I don't
The
know.
style of
Um,
name is very
yeah,
common, but it does sound cool.
yeah, and definitely the box art there looks really cool. So quarter 4 release, so it's definitely gonna be later on in the year. From
So
the looks of this one, I
may
would
get to
guess
your
that
house by 2030, possible.
that's that's what I was just about to say. I think from the looks or the sounds of what they were talking about with this one, I don't think you will be seeing this one for some time. It would be my guess.
Yeah,
I could be totally wrong, but I think this is going to take
yeah,
some
I think
years,
so. They
possibly.
seem pretty ambitious. But yeah,
Hmm.
this is a hybrid of role-play gaming and board gaming. So merges the acclaimed Awaken Realms storytelling and quality components with a dice-based RPG system and fast tactical combat. Um, yeah, this is looks to be a massive game. Kind of they're talking like they're just almost getting to that perfect uh, storytelling type of board game. Uh, so just sounds like the next step from them, and it just makes
Hmm.
me even less likely to go and get one of their games like that because I'm just like, well, I just want to wait until there's the definitive best version
Right.
out there. Uh,
Right.
and I don't know. I think there's just always going to be improvements that you can have. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they've had quite a few story driven kind of campaign battling type games before. Uh, so I think it can be done. They know how to do it and stuff, but at the same time, I think that a lot of them have also been kind of thought of as maybe a little bit difficult to get going and stuff, get into it maybe. Um, so I'm thinking that could be the case with this one. So I don't know that this is my style. I think it would definitely go Puerto Rico, then the Grimcoven, and then well, since I already got Castle Burgundy, and then probably this would be third on my radar if I'm not including the RPG stuff,
oh,
miniatures and stuff.
yeah, yeah. I'd say this is pretty close with Grimcoven to me. This still has me excited, but so yeah, your character impact system, you affect in combat. Like we're talking if you have a torch, like you can use that in story time and light up something to see something, or you can use it in combat and blow something off. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool and pretty
Yeah,
immersive. But then I'm like, why not just play a video game? Just play a video game. That's the best
it
way
does
to
kind of
have
get to that point.
storytelling is a video game, I think.
Yeah, it
But
it
people prefer something here instead of virtual. So I get that, but I just feel like while it seems very cool and even more cool how interactive it can become, if you aren't having an app take care of anything, it's also getting more and more complicated to actually manage the game. In my head, I
right.
don't have a lot of experience with it, but that's my perception, and that's kind of a wall that I'd have to get over to actually get into these games.
Yeah, I agree. And if anyone in the comments below is watching and you love kind of these story driven games with no app integration at all, let us know maybe what your favorite one is and why that's your favorite one. But yeah, I feel kind of the same way. I think some of my favorite ones that kind of have a little bit more story in them have been like Forgotten Waters and Destinies, which both use apps to kind of drive what kind of sounds like some of these similar types of things, but it's much more manageable because the app kind of
Yeah,
takes care of some of the hard work, I
yeah,
would say.
yeah,
But yeah, I think if you like these style games and these are the only ones that you play and you're like, okay, I've got a group that'll play this and we'll play it for, months or
yeah,
whatever to kind of get through it all, I think this definitely works.
yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, I don't know that it's quite our style, but yeah, it does like a lot of their stuff looks really great and I'm sure by the end of it, I'm sure it'll be a great content.
Yeah, yeah. The world seems cool. Obviously, the
Yeah.
artwork and miniatures. But yeah, looking forward to hearing great things about this one in 2035. But yeah, that's kind of most of the projects. Like we said, we
Mhm.
didn't not really talking about the video games much, but if you really want to hear more about their virtual games, go actually watch the video. Link it
Mhm.
below. But yeah, comment below what games you do think, like we mentioned, that need a glow up, like Castle of Burgundy, like Puerto Rico. Maybe it'll open our minds to some that we maybe overlook. Um,
Yes.
get some hype going for that video whenever
Yes.
it
Get the hype.
eventually releases.
20,000 views. No. But yeah, that's kind of all the things. We'll link all this stuff below so you can take a look yourself. And if you're interested in any of these, you can kind of get, I don't know if it's back it or not back it, but like get
Follow
added
it.
to the chain, follow it.
Yeah,
So you can know when it launches and the end of the year, or whichever one you're looking at anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of everything we've got on that. Um, I don't know anything else. Any other thoughts, Pepper, on their 10th anniversary year?
Happy anniversary. I should have gotten like one of those blow thingies for some parties. We have some out on the table right now.
Oh boy.
Sitting out. I should have grabbed one for this to celebrate. Really missed
Should've.
the opportunity.
This was your one chance to do that, and you missed it. But yeah, otherwise, we hope to see you on our other videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.